providers. So not from the Terraform CLI. Now let me talk about the minor versus major versions. Okay. So let me show it here. So here, so minor and major. So here patches, if we done the patches 5.1 to 5.2, there is a low. Minor 5.10 to 5.20, this is a medium. If you are going for major, it is 5.2 to 6. Okay. So if the first number, if it is very low, then it will not impact anything. If you are going for the 5 to 6, there is a major upgrade. So major upgrades means breaking the changes, and breaking the changes means infrastructure replacement. Okay. Now let's move on to the next. So what we are going to do it now? So we are going to upgrade the CLI. Okay. Let me upgrade the CLI. Let's go to that AWS console. Let me start our Terraform server, which is I have created earlier of this session. So let it run it. So there is a two things can able to do it from the upgrading. Okay. One is for using Windows machine, we can able to upgrade it. Other one is Linux. So Linux, we are going to use the apt to upgrade the Terraform CLI command. That means Terraform version. So Windows, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a Chocolate is one of the package manager to upgrade the Terraform versions. So I'm going to show it to you in the Windows. For Linux, I'm going to share it with the commands in the documentation. From there, you can able to upgrade it. So now let's do it for the Windows server or Windows client machine. Let's go to that AWS console. Let me connect. Let's get the password. Let's copy it. Let's run the server. Let me log into that server. So if the Terraform CLI, if it is already installed, that is not an issue. So you need to just check the Terraform version command. It will shows if it is already installed. If it is not installed, we need to install it and we need to do it. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. So just open the PowerShell command. Run from the administrator. If you are doing from the your own PC also, the same steps. Okay. So now what we can do, so before installing, let me verify that. So I have already uninstalled the version. Let me verify it. So if you get this error, that means Terraform, it is not installed. Okay. If we are already installed it, maybe it will show us that what is the versions we need to install it, or what are the packages we can able to upgrade, or the version we can able to install it. So now what I'm going to do, let's install the Terraform specifically for this version. Okay. So normally nobody will not specify this. To test it, I'm going to show it to you here. Okay. So let's install it first. Okay. So for example, in your system, maybe it is already installed it. Okay. So before executing this command, okay. So what you can do, you can able to use the Terraform version command. Maybe you will see that two things here. Okay. So if you're able to see it, your version of the Terraform is out of date. So you need to upgrade it. Okay. Now same error maybe you will face it. Okay. If you are installed it old one. Okay. Now let me use the two command you can able to use it to upgrade it. Okay. So you can mention the if you know the already the version name. Otherwise just make it Choco upgrade Terraform. That's it. Okay. So now verify the versions. So if you're able to see it, it is up to date your version, and you are not able to see it any of the version to upgrade it. So upgrading the Terraform CLI rarely changes your infrastructure behavior sometimes. It mainly changes how Terraform runs internally. Okay. But providers upgrades, that is where the real risk lives. So now we have done it CLI upgrade. So there is no changes, right? Okay. So what we can do, let's do it real AWS provider upgrade example. So now what I'm going to do, let's go to that server again. Let me create a folder, Terraform. Let's open the, so now let me create of the file here, main.tf. So I'll take it one file here to test it out. So now what I'm going to do, let's use the versions. So if you're able to see it, okay. So this is will given by your Terraform documentation. If you go to that any in the documentation of Terraform, you need to mention the versions here. Okay. So here it is already mentioned, and the provider's details I mentioned, and I have taken the example for EC2. Okay. So this is going to be created. So now what I'm going to do, let's open the Terraform. Let me open the Terraform CLI command. Terraform init. Let's initialize it. Okay, Terraform. Let's create the resource. Let's make it S. And let me go to that AWS console. So Terraform V5 version, it is creating, right? So now what I want to do it, I wanted to upgrade to 6. Okay, let's make it version 6. Okay, before that, let me show it you the required provider version also. Terraform. Let's go to that registry and browse providers. Let's use AWS. Let me go to that documentation. So from here, if you're able to see it in the versions, it is showing. So what are the versions? Major, minor, everything it is showing. So if you click view all versions, it is going to be shows from where it is started. So what all the versions are there? Okay. See from 5, 4, there is a lot of versions are there. Okay. So you need to just focus on how to upgrade it. Okay. So here also it is already mentioned. So if you wanted to mention particularly versions, whatever you are using, same you can mention it. What versions you are using when you are deploying in first time. So you should mention the correct version. Okay. Now let me go to here. So now I have done it right. So now what I'm going to do, let's I'm going to execute the command called Terraform upgrade. So Terraform upgrade command, what it will do? Locally, it will upgrade your whatever the plugins. Okay, everything it is going to be upgraded. But still, you can able to see that both the versions in the left side. See, both the versions it will be available. So I mentioned 6.0 only, but it is fetching the latest one 6.33. Okay, let me use the Terraform plan command. So if you type it Terraform plan command, sometimes what you will get the errors. If there is any resource, if there is, it is not going to be supported, it will shows like a unsupported argument. Okay, those things it will shows. If there is no issue, it will shows there is no changes in the your configuration. Okay, so as of now there is no issue. Okay, so that is why it is showing it is up to date. So normally, if you type it whenever you upgrade command you are using, you should use the plan command. Okay, before applying it. Okay, so the main thing is when you are typing here, most of the times it will break it here only. The plan command it is going to be shows. So sometimes the argument is removed from the versions. Okay, if you blindly apply your resource, maybe destroy it. Okay, maybe it is going to be recreated. Okay, so if you go and if you see it, uh, our whatever we have created v5 versions. Okay, so if you're able to see it, so it is not going to be recreated. The same version it is going to be updated. Okay, so make sure that if there is always you should use a command called Terraform plan. If there is any issues, it will shows. Do not use apply command directly when you are upgrade it from the 6 to 7. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just fix it here. Some small changes I'm going to do it here. So I just change it to V6. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, let's use the Terraform plan command. See, you will see that some error it will come. If there is any issues, you will get a error. Okay. So this is a just simple example. Okay. I showed you. Maybe so here it is showing we are not mentioned the what is that subnet. Okay. So I just done some changes here. That's it. And the versions details. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, let's make it the old version only. And one more thing I wanted to show it here to tell. I am going to show it later. One thing is always you should back up the state file. That is the one thing. Obviously, you should know it. So never upgrade without reading the any provider change log. Okay, especially in the major version, and always take the status backup status of your infrastructure. It will be truth. Okay, so always you do it from the upgrade in the dev first. Never test it in the productions. And if your replacement in the production, stop it. Do not apply it. Fix the code and roll back the versions. Till that, do not use it. And the final command, you should know it. This is going to be no resource impact. This is going to be shows the future damage. This is a real damage of your infrastructure. Okay. So Terraform upgrades are not dangerous, but carelessly, if you have done it, that is going to be destroy your infrastructure. In real DevOps, we do not fear the upgrades, but we respect them. So that is all about the versions. Okay. Now I wanted to talk about the state file. This is I think I have not covered it. So for example, we are already created the resource everything, right? Okay. So if I am delete this state file, okay. So what it will do? Okay. So whatever we are already created from the AWS console, okay. So this is not going to be delete the resources. Okay. That means when we delete the state file, what it will do, it is non-managed by the Terraform. Okay. For example, if I try to type it again, Terraform apply. So what it will do, it will create the state file and it will Terraform. So is so whenever you apply it, okay. So this is going to be create the new one. Okay. And the old one, what it will happen? Still, it will be available because we cannot delete it because this is non-managed. If I type it Terraform destroy also, this will be deleted this Terraform only. It will not this delete this one. Okay. So that is the one thing you should know it. Okay. Let it just now it is created, right? So if I type it Terraform destroy, it will delete the resource. But existing one, it will be same. That means previously we are deleted the stateful, right? The same resource, it will be available because we have deleted the resource. Okay. So we cannot delete it using the Terraform. Okay. So that this server belongs to non-managed from the Terraform. It is managed from the AWS console now. So now whatever I created from the state file, and if you delete it after deleting, it is not required. But before doing anything, you should know it. Okay. So that is all about the versions upgrade, providers upgrade, state file. So maybe tomorrow, next two session, I'll talk about the some Terraform commands with the example, so that all the commands how we can able to use it. And I'm going to talk about the Terraform documentation. In the Terraform documentation, we can see a lot of the information, many um, things we can learn it from the documentation side. I'm going to talk about in the coming session. So this is a Terraform language, configuration language. We are going to use it. So how to use the data source, variables, locals, output, we know it. Locals, data source, I'm going to talk about. Resource, I have already explained it. Models, I have explained it. But remaining things like a metadata, sensitive, backends, stacks, state file, there is a lot of things are there. And commands, everything it is available. So I'll talk about future session, one or two session I'll talk about this Terraform language. Okay. So till that, so you can go and you can check the my previous video session and